Right, so we've got the start of a new project this week, which is one I've picked myself, interiors. So I thought I could do a quick sort of drawing demo using this picture. Or if you want me, I've got various photos here if you wanted something for a reference. But if you've got your own reference, that's all to the good, all to the better. But if you wanted me to demonstrate from a different image, I'm quite happy to do that. So any requests?
Yeah, this one.
That one? You can if you want. Shall I do that one? Well, the thing is, I've done this one twice this week already, so I'm quite happy to go and do something else. Shall I do that one? Yeah.
You can do it after.
Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do a different one. I'll do that one. Just do a quick drawing demo. You can do that one as well? Right, so that can be, take that the other way up. Also, just a quick reminder that next week we're not here. There's no class next week.
We're running away again.
I'm having a week's break. First in over 6 months. I don't know if there's anything else to say. I think that's it. Yep, right, okay, so I'll go with it. Right, so I'll rub those marks out. So a subject like this, I'm just trying to think how to draw that. So just setting that out, that about there is the middle, I'd say. Sort of like, and if it helps, sometimes, yeah, drawing from pictures, sometimes it helps to just divide it into quarters. So I'd say that little bit of light is pretty much halfway, so that's about halfway. Sometimes just drawing very lightly, you know, either a graphite pencil or pastel pencil. So this, I don't know if you can see that, but that would be, so I'm thinking that little bit of white space there, that would fit in 1, 2, about 2 and a little bit. So I'm thinking this is my board. If I did it that wide, 1, 2, maybe slightly narrower. Tighten up. Think about there. So that could be the width of that. And I'm thinking, how wide is that compared to how deep? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 and a tiny bit. So whatever I've got here, actually I'll go to the other pencil now so you can see it a bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, about there. And then this beam here is going off at an angle a bit like that. Pop that in there. And then this one at the bottom is doing the opposite, going that way. And I've seen, sort of over the week, I've seen quite a few of my students get their rulers out. And really something like this, they're not very straight, these beams anyway, so I wouldn't really bother with a ruler. A bit of wobble is needed for that sort of drawing. But also, I find even if you are using a ruler, sometimes it's easier to just set things out freehand and just make your judgments, judge the distances freehand. So comparing that with this, so that space is about the same as that. So that would take me to the start of the first beam there. And pop that in, and then that actually stops there. That's going across to there. Then maybe start drawing the door. That comes up to here and down here. Just checking the spacing again. That is a little bit deeper there than this. So you notice what I tend to do is I'll pick something and I'll just keep going back to that thing and just check everything off against that. So I'm thinking the bottom of the door about there. Again, check that's there. That's slightly less, so that can go to about there. And then looking at that angle, if you keep your image and your board or your paper on the same plane, or just keep it square to you, it's much easier to check angles. You can just take them across. So that is going to be about like that. This one here, about like that. And just check the width of the door. 1, one, yeah, about twice that distance. 1, 2, that's coming into that here.
Is it always best to start in the middle of the picture then, Paul, and then do the reference from whatever you've taken in the middle?
Well, I find that easiest. I mean, I've just kind of learned to draw, I've just kind of worked it out for myself what I find the easiest. So I do find find something that you can, if it was too tiny, if it was like a little thing that big, then I'd be counting, it'd be too small. But something like that, it's quite a good shape to start with.
So it's your reference point.
It's a reference point to work out.
Everything else, yeah.
And yeah, just finding out where things, if you've divided this into quarters, then you can then see which quarter the various bits do. It's a bit like a very simple grid, if you want to do gridding. But, so yeah, I would do, yeah. And then a couple of, again, you could just sketch these in lightly. So this bit here is about there, and there's a piece of wood kind of keeping all that together there. And what you'll find is all these angles will fan out. So if I join this up here, something like that, these should all kind of meet some sort of vanishing point over here. So you can just carry it on onto the table. Won't be able to draw it. But yeah, just make sure those angles just all fan out from somewhere. And so that's that bit. Then just keeping going. We've got that bit of wood going across there. That goes into the corner. Steps down. We've got the start of the step. That's that to there. And that starts about there. So just checking that corner is roughly in line with that. Coming out, going across there, and then that carries on the other side of the here. Comes down to here. Just check that against that. That's slightly less, so that wants to come down to about there. And then when I draw that line in, I've got a little bit of a gap there, which I have there, so that's about right there. So this angle, again, will come back to this vanishing point here, and the same here, that bottom one will be quite steep. So that relates to the vanishing point up there. And then I can then draw that bottom beam in. That's the corner of my door. And then that went off, that wants to carry on across there. Something like that. The inside, I haven't drawn the inside here, I don't want to be there. That's that bit, and then this, got another beam here. And where's that going? Actually, let me bring that down a little bit. Bring that down to there, and there. And across here. I think that's doing something like that. That feels a bit narrow. Maybe bring that up a little bit. Yeah, I'll take that higher, there. And then these bits are quite easy because they're just sort of straightish lines, just looking at where they are. That one's just inside the door there. Then we've got one about here. Again, I could just check the spaces between. That feels a little bit cramped there, I'm not quite sure. That's what I've done wrong. That wants to come that way. Yeah, with these sort of half timbered buildings, sometimes it helps to just make a few marks. Yeah, one of the students on Tuesday, she had all these sort of, beam, space, and if it's just a line, you can't remember which is which. So that's a beam, so just pop a couple of marks there. And we've got another one there. About there, and then there should be another one back here. So again, maybe move that over a little bit, just to get the spacing. This should be slightly wider here than here, but they're not going to be absolutely regular. And then on this face, what we've got here, so that's in shadow, isn't it? That's all in shadow, and that's the corner of the room. That beam ends there, then lower down. This beam here, coming out this way. So, because it's a corner, some will go that way on this face, and these ones will all go that way. That's coming out to about there. We've got another beam at an angle coming up there, perhaps a bit steeper angle. And then I'll just check that spacing there. So it's about perhaps that and a half, 1.5 to there. So that, that's about there. Thinking how to draw this archway. I think that tapers anyway, so that will, that's a bit more complicated to draw. And the middle of that isn't in the middle, it's sort of like part of an archway, isn't it? So perhaps if I had the middle about there, and draw that, and that, and then that, and that. And then I've just got seen a bit of the side of that then, and a little bit of the underside of that one. And I've drawn that right, yeah, I don't want it to go into something like that. I hadn't noticed that, but that's a lot narrower there than it is here. I'm actually sort of seeing the inside of that there. God, it's complicated, isn't it? That's coming out that way.
I thought it was easy, Paul. Oh my goodness.
That's going to there, that narrows a little bit to there. Just get another pencil that's running out. Something like that. And then we've got another arch coming off this way. And then it's just drawing in the wellies. So, if you want to portrait my wellies. Quite a lot of these photos are different places. My wife really likes staying in historical buildings. So this was a landmark.
This was your private class.
Yeah, this was I think it was like 12th or 13th century. It'd been like a barn. 13th. And it was a really quite amazing place, and it had never been connected to a road. So when you stay there, they give you like a couple of wheelbarrows, and you put your luggage in the wheelbarrows, and you walk up the side of this plough field, and you're right this place. So it's quite a unique place to stay. It's quite interesting. And this was like a big barn there, and then the cottage bit was at the end. Yeah, so they can just go in there. And that's probably enough to, there's a little bit goes in there. And that's kind of the framework of it then, really.
It's finished. I thought it was finished.
Can they start putting the painting and the detail?
Very good. Very nice.
Does that help? Anybody who's having a go at that one? Get started. Yeah, that's how I would go about painting it. Looking at it now, that looks a little bit wide. I'd have to check. This might, yeah, I think it's got stretched out a little bit. I'd have to check. You know, not essentially doing it. But...
No rule.
Well, yeah, actually, when you're painting it, once you got to that stage, if you wanted to sharpen anything up, and probably if I was painting, I might, particularly that door edge, I might just get a straight edge and just paint it on a straight edge. But I don't think you need it for that. Okay. Right,